And welcome back. And we are moving into our final segment for today. And can you believe it? The summer is almost over. And we have some fantastic tips that we're going to get from two educators today for parents, for their children to get back into school mode, right? I don't think the kids want to hear that, but the parents are happy to hear that. And should I venture to ask how the teachers feel about that?
We are very excited.
Definitely.
Okay, with us on set, we have Adriani Coleman and Diane Garcia. Of course, Adriani is an upper school teacher, and Diane is also a middle school teacher, right? You take the babies from lower into middle school. Good morning and welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, so where do we start? First of all, I want to talk a bit about your own experience in working with children. It's something I always tell people, like, you have to be born to be a teacher. Not everybody can get up and say, I can do that job. It's tough work. How long have you been in the profession, and what really keeps you going?
Okay, well, I've been in the profession 13 years.
Wow.
And what keeps me going are the children, learning from them and meeting new people every year. That really makes me feel excited.
Yeah.
For me, basically, also, I've been teaching for just about 20 years. And one thing about teaching is that every day is different. It's never the same. You know, there are new challenges.
Yeah.
Different activities. There's so much when it comes to teaching, and everybody have to realize as a teacher that teaching is love.
Yeah.
You have to be in it for the love of it, or else you won't succeed as a teacher.
Now, tell me about the unique ages that you work with. Adriani, you work with adolescents, right? Your upper school.
Yes.
That's an interesting age. You know, isn't that when they start to get a little bit defiant?
Yes, that is the age where most parents don't know who their children are anymore because they hit puberty and then they become defiant and they try to break the rules. But it's also a time that they can be easily influenced to think on the right path. Things that are bigger issues that they never used to give thoughts to because they were little children, and now they're more conscious, and so we can influence them more.
Yeah. And for you're with Standard 1?
Yes. I first started actually in kinder, you know, the
God
little
bless
5-year-olds.
you.
Oh, but it was lovely. It was wonderful. I remember one year, this child came in. She was very new to the system. She wasn't crying, you know, at that age, most of them are crying, and you have to try to get them settled down, you know, so it was a parent that was crying. So we had to try to take her out, and it's going to be okay, Mom, she's going to be fine. And the little girl was like, yes, Mom, I'm going to be fine. Go home. You know, and after a while, I moved up to middle division, and it's still exciting every single day. You know, just to see their smiling faces coming in the classroom bright and early in the morning. Yeah. They want to tell you about, if it's a Monday, they want to tell you what happened over the weekend. And you just have to have that ear there to listen to them.
Okay, great. So this is a very interesting time. I think right now parents are really thinking about getting the tools in place for school. Getting the books, the uniforms, the backpacks, all the other fun stuff for the kids. But there are also other strategies that as teachers you wanted to share with parents to get the kids mentally back into school mode, right? Yeah. Why is that important?
It's so important because then it sets the tone for the school year. Yeah. You know, start to get them in that routine. At least 2 weeks, I would say, at least 2 weeks before school reopens. Start to get the normal bedtime. I'm sure that over the summer, everybody has been going to bed as late as they possibly can. Push the book there. But start to get them in and say, you know what? School is going to reopen soon. We have to start to get back into that normal routine, get into bed early, getting up early, start to prepare breakfast, uniform, everything. So you have to start with them mentally telling them, you know, if they have their school supplies, they're all excited because that's what they will want to show off at school.
That's the only good part of going back to school. I remember that. But bedtime is important. You're
Yes,
so right.
it's so important to start to get them back to a normal routine when it comes to that.
So when the morning comes, you don't have to be dragging them out of bed. And
Exactly.
And
They
they
will,
will zombie in class.
right, they will be the ones springing out of bed and getting you up. Wake up, mommy. It's time to go to school.
All right. Anything else?
Yes, I had given a list.
Yeah.
There's a morning routine and an evening routine list.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought it would be nice to share it with everyone because it is very important to get your children back into a routine. Now, this is just a template. It is not by no means set in stone.
Yeah.
And you can modify it to fit your family's needs,
Mm-hmm.
you know, but it's very important, like Ms. Garcia said, to get into routine.
Mm-hmm.
Children love routine and they respond to it very well. So having a little checklist for them, or even for you, okay, in the morning we need to get this accomplished before we go to school, it will be like clockwork after a while.
Yeah. And I think that's one of the things that we hear a lot when we talk about children and their development, that routines are important. So, you know, I can't imagine early in the morning having to get the kids out of bed and out to school. But one of the things, like the list that you've provided, it talks about just the order that you will get things done, whether it's making your bed, having breakfast, showering, brushing your teeth, all before you get to school.
Yes, and it's very important for the children to be part of the routine, to be an active member in that, because when they wake up after a while, then they automatically do it. Eventually, you don't have to tell them anything. And so it's very important. And as teachers, we know this because our first few weeks of school are dedicated to just getting routine and procedure down. So if you can do that at home with them, it really, really helps them when they come to the classroom.
Now, what about helping them through the anxiety of first day of school? Sometimes it's a new class. Sometimes it's a new school. You've had the kindergarten experience. Both mom and kids sometimes are a bit nervous about going in. What are some of the things that you recommend to parents to do?
Well, first of all, you have to get them excited. You talk about what they loved last year and have them looking forward to this year. It's going to be even better. You talk about all their excitement. I mean, they will be nervous, and I'm sure the parents are nervous also. But it's just talking to them, you know, assuring them that the teachers are there for them. It's going to be a positive year. You know, when parents hand over the children to you, you're the mother now. They entrust you with their little ones. So I think that basically just talking to them, reassuring them that how they're going to have a wonderful school year. Everything is prepared for them at school. Teachers have been working for a whole month to get them ready in the classroom, to get the classroom ready to welcome them. I think that works a whole lot.
What's one of the things that you find when kids come back to school that perhaps makes it difficult to get the school year started, that you think parents can help with in preparation?
Definitely sticking to routine.
Yeah.
That is very, very important. And giving the adequate support.
Yeah.
Like Ms. Garcia said, getting them excited for the year. Don't pass on your anxiety to them. You know, you may feel it as a parent. Everyone goes through it, but you know, you don't pass that on to them, because their teacher is excited to meet them as well and to have them for an entire year. So if you are not passing on your anxiety to them, then they will not come with it to class. That's one of the things. But the routine and procedure is so important.
And it's also good to take a look at the books, take out the books and see, well, you know what, this is what I'm going to learn this year. Get them all excited about learning.
Yeah, and that helps.
It does.
If you help to build the excitement with them, then they are also a bit more interested. Now, there are two schools of thought. I've heard parents who say, okay, well, we're going to start reading a bit before school start to ensure that you are mentally prepared to go back into school. And then I hear the parents who say, you know, you're going to enjoy the break right up until the 11th hour, the Sunday before school starts. What's your suggestion?
Oh my goodness. Well, I don't think there is a right way or a wrong way. Some children would benefit from a break. They
Okay.
need a break because they study really hard all year, and it is unfair to burden them over the summer. And then some children, they, you know, took their time through things, and maybe they weren't as attentive as they could be, so they may benefit from the extra studies over the summer. So I think it depends on your child. You need to look at your child and say, okay, would my child benefit from being on a break, or would they benefit from extra classes over the summer? Also, you have to keep in mind that reading is such an issue in school. So if you have your children reading, and they do read, they read on the internet, don't get me wrong. You know, I know we're used to the conventional books, but get them to read something, even if it's online. It doesn't have to be overbearing. If you can find a little middle ground, you don't have to do an hour every day, maybe 20 minutes, 10 minutes, depending on age. You know, but I don't think there's a right or wrong.
I like that though. And you know, if you know perhaps your child was struggling a bit, maybe they do need to mentally be prepared to go back.
You have to make that transition smooth and easy for them getting back to school. So it depends on your child.
And what about you know, I'm not trying to put any guilt on any parent here. Can I be very clear? I've just heard many things over the years, and so I know there are different types of parenting styles. And there's some who put a lot of pressure on children to perform well. What happens with the children when you meet them in the classroom?
Some of those children show signs of stress. You know, at a point in the year, they do show signs of stress, even though they're small. So we have to be very conscious of that. As teachers, we try to incorporate different strategies and techniques for our different learners. We try to modify homework and so on for the students, because some of them really, they do show signs of stress, so we have to be very careful with them. We can't, like you were saying, not to pressure any parent or anything like that. I mean, they want the best for their child. That's how they're seeing it. And for them to get the best for their child, they push their child. And nothing is wrong with that. You know, but we have to be conscious of it as well, especially with the children.
Do you see it with the young ones too?
Oh yes. And I think the key in really trying to solve that problem is to have a very good relationship with your teacher as a parent, because then what expectations you might have on your child, the teacher may see that and may see that it can be a little issue for them at school. So it's so important to, at the very beginning of the school year, to have that rapport with that parent, and so both of your expectations will be on the same level, and the child won't feel as pressured as you know. Before.
I love that, and I want to take that a bit further, because when you talk about teacher-parent relationship, it's very important, and sometimes children go into a new class with trepidation of the teacher. You know, I've heard this one is strict, or maybe my current teacher is so nice, the other one doesn't seem as nice. And so, or I've heard this one grades very hard, and so they're fearful going in. What advice do you give the parents in being able to help the child overcome that?
Well, I would say give your teacher a chance. Don't just go in with a judgment. I mean, we don't like...
Because you pass it on to the child.
Yes, exactly. And we do talk, as parents, sometimes we talk freely in front of our children, and they're listening. They're listening to everything we say. So we have to be careful, you know, and then give someone a chance. Give the teacher a chance. The teacher is giving your child a chance. When we get the children, we don't say, oh, let's look at their little behavior. No, this is a new year. This is a new time. This is a time for growth. And so you have to give the teacher a chance. That's what I would recommend. Give everyone is giving everyone a chance to show that they can be different, that they can be better, that they have improved. And I think that should go in always.
And let's talk about what is to come, the tears that come with homework. It's your fault. You give it, right?
Thank you.
This says the non-parent. But it is, you know, they're going from watching TV, playing with a tablet, playing outside, sleeping, and now having to go back to sitting after school to do homework. What's your advice to parents in getting children to manage their time and get their homework done?
Okay, so once again we come back to routine.
Yeah.
Very important. In your routine, your after school routine, you need to include food, a snack, or rest time, playtime, homework, and study.
Yeah.
It should vary by age. I don't think a child in standard 1 should be studying for an hour.
Yeah.
And a child in standard 6 for 4 hours.
Yeah.
You know, although sometimes this does happen.
Yeah.
Okay, but if you manage your time, if you know that your child has an issue with managing their time, then the routine is very important.
Yeah.
And then also you get, yes, there is
A list.
a list.
Yeah.
What I need to do after school, okay, and of course this varies by family, but hang up your coat, hang up your bag, put your shoes away, okay, don't just leave them by the door. Empty your backpack, especially giving your mom and dad any important papers. Sometimes you'd say, didn't your school give you a letter? And they would say, oh yes, it's at the bottom of the bag. Okay, put your homework on the
I was
table.
so one of those kids.
Okay, and cleaning out your lunchbox, so important.
Yeah.
You know, because sometimes moms don't see their Tupperware at all
Yeah.
when they give them back out. Put your water bottle on the counter. You know, you can have little things like this.
Yeah.
Hang up your stuff, wash your hands, have a snack, relax, do your homework.
But what I love, it's so clearly defined. You know, like I think we like to make assumption with kids that you say, you know, clean up after yourself. They have no idea what you're talking about.
Exactly.
But this is very clearly
Right.
defined.
And
Now,
this can be done by any age level.
Yeah.
And that's what I liked about it.
yeah. And the importance of rest after school.
Yes, they do need a little time.
Yeah.
I do agree. I would say that when they get home, give them a little playtime or give them a little rest time before they get back into their homework. And I think that too, also what should help is positive reinforcement. Reward them, you know, praise them. Did you do your homework? Good job. Did you need any help? Good job. And I think that encouraging them, praising them, giving them little incentives, you know, at the end of the week, this is what is going to happen. They look forward to that. So you won't have any problem with getting that homework done.
Yeah. Yeah. So positive reinforcement.
Yes, definitely.
That's supposed to work. Other advice that you would give them? We know homework time can be difficult. You know, I think some parents try to figure out if they need extra classes, don't need extra classes, need a tutor, don't need a tutor. I guess that is a conversation you can have with your teacher as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
I think showing here right now is one of the websites that is a very good resource. There's
Yeah.
a National Geographic for kids. There's a homework help section. Of course, that can
Oh.
help with social studies, with science.
Yeah.
And of course, you can link if you're reading a story about the rainforest or the setting is in the rainforest or any part of the world, you can come here and access this. So the children will have a better idea. You know, they
Yeah.
like the visual stimulation. Of course, they love being on the internet. So if you have a nice little site that they can go to, and this is a very safe site, you know, I would recommend this. And parents can access this as well. It's
Yeah.
not limited to teachers. So that is one recommendation.
So that's a National Geographic for kids, and there's a specific homework page that can help.
Yes.
Now, is that, you know, I think, you know, people want to be rigid sometimes and they think, okay, well, you know, no tablet all week long. Is it a good thing to perhaps use the tools the kids love during the week, during homework time?
Yes. Actually, even as teachers, we are incorporating these things into the classrooms. So we can't run from it. We have to embrace it. The children
right.
have embraced it completely. They are technological natives. They are born with the phones in their hands. They've been posted on Facebook before they were even born, some of them. So this
That is true.
so this is the way to go. So if we can find these things, and there's so many, there are many websites, there are many apps that parents can download, teachers, students. Of
Yeah.
course, the students will not gladly go and download something educational, but if you can show them in the right direction, and you as a teacher or the parent, you go and you see what is out there,
Yeah.
because there are so many things.
Yeah.
This is another website. I'm not sure which one this
Yeah.
is.
Also, with this technological age, they have to be properly monitored.
Yes.
Just to make sure that they're doing what they're supposed to do. So you just can't leave them alone and say, well, go and look at this one, because the
I'm
temptation
so
is out
glad
there.
you brought that up, because I wanted to ask you that question so badly. I find teachers sometimes have more information than the parents with what the kids are doing. And not because, you overhear conversations, you see certain behaviors. What would you want parents to know that perhaps it hasn't registered to them as a potential threat or danger to their child?
A potential threat. Well, the social media, there's been a lot of talk about that, and that is one of the main venues where children are bullied or enticed to do certain things, see things that maybe is not appropriate.
Yeah.
So definitely, I'm sure I'm stating the obvious, but
I think we need to remind
it's very
them.
important.
Yeah.
Yes.
And a lot of parents
So even
don't-
from upper school age, we're seeing these types of
Oh,
behaviors.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
definitely, and a lot of parents maybe don't know what these things stand for. Maybe they don't even know what the what they call the text language means, the emojis, what they insinuate with these things. And so you have to do your own research. As a parent, you have to go and do your own research. We are, as teachers, in the mix of things, so we're always with the trends.
Yeah.
And so we, like you said, we would know a lot more than the parents. So as a parent, you have to take it on yourself to research and find out what these things are. What is Snapchat? What is Instagram?
Yes,
And how it works.
And how it works, and then you have to be your own detective in that case.
Yeah.
Because a lot of things do happen.
Yeah. And for the little ones?
Same goes, because then for my age group, they do have their own little profile and everything. They have their phones, they have their tablets. So parents have to keep them monitored.
And they live on YouTube.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
One told
On
me
the internet.
last year that he wanted to be a YouTuber. So I was like, what is a YouTuber? So he says, that I can make money as a being a YouTuber. So I had to go and find out exactly if that was so. We learn from them as much as they learn from us.
It is so true. Now, final advice to parents as they embark on the new school year, what they can do to get the kids ready, get themselves ready for the year ahead.
Okay, well, let's establish those routines, and please get your children enthusiastic about going back to school. That is very important.
Yeah.
So that they don't feel like it's the end of the world and no, I have to wake up early. Let them feel happy to go to school and look forward to it.
Yeah.
And one of the ways is through routine.
Yeah.
And show, always be positive. Get them excited. Tell them the teacher, they're going to have a great year. The teachers, they're waiting for them patiently. Their classroom is being prepared for them. Just get them excited. Even if you don't feel that way, the dread of getting up early, getting in traffic, trying to get to school on time. That's what the parent, as a parent, that's what you're
Waking them
thinking.
up.
Getting them breakfast and all of that. While in the summertime, they can get up whatever time. They can help themselves. It basically
It's like
comes back down
setting
to
the tone
routine.
for the
Set
school
the tone
year.
so that that transition can be so easy for them.
Okay. Well, we really appreciate you stopping in and sharing some of these tips. I think, parents are definitely, they're either looking forward to or dreading, one or the other, having the kids go back to school, but getting those routines in place from now and setting the overall tone of being excited of going back to school. Thank you so much for stopping in, and best of luck with the new school year.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to go ahead and take our final break now, and when we come back, we'll have our wrap up, so stay tuned.